I've gotta collect my thoughts. Hold on.
So that's a secret spot because nobody goes study there except me. So if you ever come there, it's going to be probably me.
I think the biggest piece of advice I have is to not fall into the trap of El Jefes versus Felipe's.
My favorite class was a class that was actually cross-registered with the Harvard Kennedy School. When I first came to campus, I wanted to explore the government concentration because I was pretty sure that's what I wanted to do, but I wanted to confirm it. And so I took this class called The American Presidency. It was Gov 1540, and it was my first ever class on campus too. And so when I got to class, I was like, well, these grad students, I'm probably gonna flunk right on out of this class. I stuck through it because the content was super interesting and the professor ended up being a super sweet man. My TF was really awesome. There were other undergraduates in the class, and so I never really felt alone, and it helped me realize that I could succeed at Harvard and I could thrive here, and I was academically prepared.
My favorite class is probably my first year seminar that I took in the fall of my freshman year. It was titled When Bad Things Happen Early in Life, The Effects of Early Adversity on the Neurological Development of Children. Very long title. My professor was, well, first of all, super, like a really big deal in his field, and it was crazy sitting down and like having conversations with a leader in the field of developmental psychology and neuroscience. And then additionally, he helped to connect me with research that I'm now going to be doing for the next year. So that was a really incredible opportunity, and I ended up deciding to change my concentration, or I guess add on my concentration from economics to neuroscience. So very impactful class.
I think the first place that I can think of is the Smith Campus Center, just because it's so centrally located. And I remember I would go all the time, especially during finals period. They have their like student only area. I don't really know how to describe it, but it has those really cool chairs that like spinny chairs, and during the finals period it's open till 12 a.m. so I would be there until 12 a.m. But during the regular semester I just like going and popping in, and I'm a big people watcher, so it's a great place to people watch, and sometimes I'll see my friends there too, so it's a good, overall central spot.
My favorite place to study is also my secret place to study. It's in Widener Library, but it's in the stacks. So if you go 4th floor in the stacks, there's chairs where you can study there.
So I consider myself a big yapper. So when I do need to study and I have an exam the very next day, I like to go as far away as possible from all my friends. And so that tends to be the Science and Engineering Complex, or SEC. And there's so many floors there, you can get lost. And that's what I like to do. Every time I go, I find a new place and I just study for hours in there.
So the best house on campus is definitely Pforzheimer House, or FOHO, as we like to call it here on campus. It's the house that I'm a part of, and I really think it's the best house, not only because I just live there, but the community is great. We'll host different events like a petting zoo on the quad lawn, which is amazing, but we'll also have, we'll get the fireplace going and have apple cider as well. And then my favorite part of the community aspect are the intramural sports. And so pretty much every week, you can just come out, play a game. And it's so good that even our building manager, who's 50 years old, comes out to play. So it's definitely the best house because of the community.
You make 50 sound so old.
So essentially, so Jordy's actually spewing fake news because Quincy House is the best house on campus. To start, we're located in River Central, so we're very central to like all the river houses and also pretty close to the actual yard. We're the only house that has hot breakfast. We have waffles every morning. Same with our scrambled eggs. We just really have a great meal. Also, definitely, I'd say our faculty deans are truly amazing. They live at the top of New Quincy in the penthouse, and they also make us cookies. So I feel like, what else do you really need in the house?
So because Quincy has hot breakfast, it's always full, and so there's never a break there. But in my house, Leverett House, we have a really quiet living situation. We're on the Charles River, and so the river is 2 seconds from my dorm. The house spirit, people love Leverett. Leverett people go hard for Leverett, which I really love, and I just love, love, love Lev. And we're bunnies, like, who doesn't want bunnies?
I think the best freshman house is Greeno Hall. The good thing about Greeno, it has an elevator which most freshman dorms don't have. And also, you can order DoorDash just at your door, which can happen in the yard, which is quite amazing. And it's a quiet area, so Greeno is the best freshman dorm. Yeah.
I would say the best freshman dorm, all freshman dorms are amazing, but Lionel, which I lived in, was one of the best because our proctor was amazing, which made my community in Lionel the best. Second, Lionel is one of smaller dorms. Overall, we had 16 students in our entryway, so I got very close to all my classmates and everyone in my dorm. And third, our proctor made cookies, handmade cookies, homemade cookies every 2 weeks, so it was a wonderful treat.
I would like to advocate for for Canada Hall, also known as Canna Yay, Canna Slay. There's multiple names for our dorm just because of how on top it is. The entryway meetings we'd have together in our common room, our food was like always on top. One time I checked my phone and at the same time there was Zinnekins, which is a local waffle place, sushi, and I believe donuts. I was actually so sad that I was not on campus, so I could not get there, but you can imagine like the tears forming in my eyes when I noticed that. Also, very incredible location. I've left my room like 2 minutes before class before and made it in on time. Not just before, multiple times. So yeah, Canada on top.
Coming to Harvard was very scary for me, and there was a lot of bias about Harvard and how hard it will be and how I wouldn't be able to make it through it. But the amount of support that Harvard just gives a student is amazing. You get a lot of support from your professors. When I got here, I had never written a line of code, like never. But right now, I am concentrating in CS from the support from my teaching fellows and my professors. So if you're scared of college, if you're scared of Harvard, don't be. Just take it from me. This is an amazing place. You will find your community. You will find a lot of support. So yeah.
One suggestion that I would say is try and do a pre-O. Really try and put yourself out there because it lets you situate yourself a week before you actually have to start classes, before you actually have to start meeting more and more people. It's a way for you to familiarize yourself with the people around you and the places around you that you'll call home for the next 4 years.
I think in my experience now as a rising senior, the piece of advice I would give to students coming into Harvard is just cherish the friendships you make. 4 years passes by, take it from me, entering my 4th year here at college, but really cherish those friendships you make from day one. That's the one advice I would give. Just cherish your friendships because the experiences you're gonna remember most of all are not gonna be your classes, they're gonna be the time you shared with all your friends.
I feel like the biggest thing I want to say to the incoming class is congratulations. This is a huge achievement, and we're all very proud of you and excited to welcome you onto campus. And take advantage of all that's available to you, but also kind of live in the moment. Don't feel like you got to Harvard, you have to stay on that extremely fast pace. Like truly just treasure every opportunity that you possibly can. And also, I think the biggest piece of advice I have is to not fall into the trap of El Jefes versus Felipes, because the real winner is Ashalitas.
Woo!